First and foremost, it just revealed the kind of character that we have. The toughness, the relentless spirit, the flexibility.
What makes this entire WNBA controversy even more explosive is the growing belief that there's now a silent divide happening inside the league itself. And no, this isn't just about veteran players versus rookies anymore. It's bigger than that. This is becoming a battle between the old version of the WNBA and the new era that Caitlin Clark accidentally created the moment she stepped onto a professional court. Because whether people admit it publicly or not, the reality is obvious. Caitlin Clark changed the attention level of women's basketball almost overnight. Suddenly, road arenas were packed. Celebrities started showing up courtside. National sports shows that barely discussed the WNBA before were now leading entire segments with Caitlin Clark highlights and breaking news. And while many players embraced that spotlight, others clearly seemed uncomfortable with how fast the league narrative shifted toward one rookie. That tension is exactly why every interaction now gets dissected online. Every hard foul becomes a trending topic. Every post-game interview gets analyzed frame by frame. Fans are searching for signs of jealousy, resentment, or hidden frustration. And honestly, some of the reactions from players and analysts have only fueled those suspicions even more. The biggest problem for the WNBA right now isn't just physical basketball. It's perception. Once fans believe there's bitterness toward the league's biggest star, every single moment starts looking personal. And perception in sports is everything. The NBA learned that years ago. The NFL understands it perfectly. If fans emotionally connect to a superstar, they will defend that player relentlessly. That's exactly what's happening with Caitlin Clark right now. And the scary part for the league? This conversation is no longer staying inside sports circles. Mainstream media, influencers, podcast hosts, and even casual fans are all debating the same thing. Is the WNBA truly embracing the biggest opportunity it has ever had, or is internal resentment slowly damaging the league's future? The media coverage surrounding Caitlin Clark has now reached a level that honestly feels unprecedented for women's basketball. Every sports network wants a piece of the conversation. Every debate show is chasing viral clips. Every controversial foul instantly becomes breaking news. And because of that, the pressure surrounding the WNBA is becoming almost impossible to control. What's fascinating is how divided the reactions have become. Some analysts believe Caitlin Clark is receiving completely normal rookie treatment and that fans are overreacting emotionally because of her popularity. But others argue that the level of physicality against her has crossed a line and that the league office has failed to calm the situation before it spiraled into non-stop controversy. That split is creating massive engagement online. Videos discussing Clark are pulling millions of views across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and sports podcasts. Every clip generates arguments. Every debate trends. And from a business perspective, that attention is both incredibly valuable and extremely dangerous at the same time. Because attention can grow a league fast. But controversy can also damage trust just as quickly. And here's what makes this even more complicated. Caitlin Clark isn't just another talented rookie putting up good numbers. She arrived with one of the largest fan bases women's basketball has ever seen. Many of her supporters followed her from college and are emotionally invested in her success. That means they react strongly to everything happening around her. When fans believe their favorite star is being treated unfairly, they don't stay quiet anymore. They flood social media. They attack comment sections. They pressure journalists. They challenge league narratives. And suddenly the WNBA finds itself trapped in a non-stop cycle where every game becomes another public controversy waiting to happen. That's why this story continues dominating headlines. It's not just basketball anymore. It's media warfare, fan culture, celebrity pressure, and business strategy all colliding at the exact same time. There's a reason executives, sponsors, and television networks are paying extremely close attention to what's happening around Caitlin Clark right now. This isn't just about points, assists, or highlight plays anymore. This is about economics. Massive economics. For years, sports leagues have desperately searched for athletes capable of bringing entirely new audiences into their product. Those players are incredibly rare. They become cultural figures, not just athletes. And Caitlin Clark is starting to look exactly like that kind of superstar. Look at the numbers. Ticket prices exploded almost immediately after she entered the league. Television ratings hit levels many analysts never expected for regular season WNBA games. Merchandise sales surged across the board. Even opposing teams started moving games into larger arenas simply because Clark was coming to town. That kind of impact changes everything. Suddenly, sponsors become more interested. Media companies invest more coverage. Networks schedule more games. casual sports fans start paying attention. The entire ecosystem around the league grows faster because one player created emotional investment on a national scale. But here's the challenge. Once a superstar reaches that level of influence, every controversy surrounding them becomes magnified 1,000 times bigger. That's exactly what the WNBA is experiencing now. Instead of conversations focusing only on basketball, the league is now dealing with accusations of jealousy, debates over officiating, and non-stop arguments about player treatment. And whether those accusations are fully fair or not almost doesn't matter anymore. The conversation itself has become the story. That's why the league is under enormous pressure moving forward. Because if the WNBA successfully handles this moment, it could unlock an entirely new level of growth for women's basketball. But if the controversy continues dominating headlines, it risks overshadowing the incredible on-court talent that should be leading the conversation instead. A lot of people still don't fully understand why fans react so passionately whenever Caitlin Clark gets involved in controversy. But the answer is actually pretty simple. Fans don't just see her as a basketball player anymore. They see her as the face of a movement. For years, women's basketball fans wanted mainstream respect, bigger audiences, and national attention equal to other major sports. Then Caitlin Clark arrived with a playing style that instantly captured casual viewers. The deep threes, the flashy passing, the confidence, the drama. She made people who normally ignored women's basketball suddenly stop and watch. That emotional connection matters more than statistics. Sports fans become deeply protective of players who make them feel invested again. That's why reactions online become so intense after controversial moments. Many viewers genuinely believe they are defending the future of the sport itself when they defend Caitlin Clark. And honestly, the league may not have been fully prepared for that level of emotional attachment. Because this isn't just a normal fan base anymore. It's a massive digital army capable of turning any moment into a viral national debate within minutes. One controversial foul can dominate sports media for days. One heated post-game interview can trend across every platform overnight. That's the level of attention surrounding the WNBA now. The pressure is enormous not only for Caitlin Clark but for every player, coach, and executive connected to the league. Because every action gets amplified. Every mistake becomes headline news. And every controversy feeds an audience that is already emotionally locked into the story. That's why the WNBA is standing at such a critical crossroads right now. The interest is real. The attention is massive. But managing that spotlight may become the hardest challenge the league has ever faced. The next few months could genuinely shape the future of the WNBA for years to come. That might sound dramatic. But when you look at the amount of attention, money, media coverage, and fan investment surrounding Caitlin Clark, it's hard to deny how important this moment really is. The league is experiencing visibility levels it has never seen before. More people are watching games. More young fans are becoming interested. More brands are paying attention. That kind of momentum can completely transform a sports league if handled correctly. But momentum is fragile. If controversy continues overpowering the basketball itself, frustration could eventually replace excitement. Fans want intensity and competition, but they also want to feel like the league values its biggest stars and understands what audiences are emotionally connecting to. At the same time, the WNBA also faces another challenge, balancing respect for longtime players while embracing a new superstar era built around unprecedented media attention. That balance is difficult. Every major sports league eventually faces these transitional moments when a new face changes the entire business landscape. And whether people love Caitlin Clark or criticize the non-stop hype surrounding her, one reality is impossible to ignore. She has become the center of the sports world's attention in a way very few athletes ever do. Now the league must decide what happens next. Does the WNBA use this moment to elevate the entire sport to another level? Or does the constant controversy continue creating division between fans, players, and media narratives? Because right now, every game feels bigger than basketball. Every headline feels bigger than sports. And the entire world is watching to see what the WNBA becomes from here. What makes the entire WNBA situation so intense right now is that people are forgetting just how much pressure Caitlin Clark is carrying every single night. Most rookies enter a professional league with expectations. Caitlin Clark entered with the weight of an entire sport sitting on her shoulders. Every arena sells out because fans want to watch her play. Television ratings spike because viewers tune in specifically for her games. Sports shows lead with her highlights. Social media explodes after every possession. And somehow, despite all of that chaos, she's still expected to perform like a veteran superstar from day one. That level of pressure would crush most athletes. And yet, Every time Caitlin Clark steps onto the floor, the intensity surrounding her somehow grows even bigger. Opposing crowds treat games against her like playoff matchups. Defenders play with extra physicality. National media analyzes every missed shot, every turnover, every reaction on the bench. There's no escape from the spotlight. That's why so many fans feel emotionally connected to her journey right now. They aren't just watching basketball anymore. They are watching a young superstar attempt to survive one of the most overwhelming introductions to professional sports we've seen in years. The craziest part? The pressure doesn't only come from opponents. It comes from expectations. People expect Caitlin Clark to save ratings, grow the league, handle criticism perfectly, carry a franchise, dominate professionally, and somehow remain calm while becoming one of the biggest sports stories in America at just 22 years old. That's not normal rookie pressure. That's cultural phenomenon pressure. And the WNBA is still trying to figure out how to handle the storm that came with it. One of the biggest changes happening around the WNBA right now is the atmosphere. The energy feels completely different compared to previous seasons, and a huge reason for that is Caitlin Clark. Every game involving Clark suddenly carries massive stakes. Fans are emotionally invested before tip-off even starts. Social media debates begin hours before the game. Sports media builds hype around every matchup like it's a championship showdown. And once the game begins, every hard foul or heated moment instantly becomes viral content. That kind of attention creates pressure for everybody involved. Veteran players know millions of people are watching closely now. Coaches know every decision will be criticized online. Referees know every whistle will be replayed endlessly across social media. The entire environment feels more intense because the audience surrounding the league has exploded. And honestly, some longtime fans love it. For years, WNBA supporters wanted the league to receive this kind of national attention. Now it's finally happening. The problem is that increased attention also brings increased criticism, non-stop debate, and enormous expectations. That's why every controversy feels magnified. A physical play that normally disappears after one news cycle now dominates sports conversations for days. One emotional post-game interview becomes a trending topic nationwide. The spotlight has become so powerful that even small moments now feel gigantic. This is what happens when a sports league enters mainstream culture. The games become bigger, the emotions become louder, and the pressure becomes relentless. The WNBA wanted more attention. Now it has more attention than ever before. The challenge is learning how to manage everything that comes with it. Social media may actually be the biggest reason this entire WNBA controversy keeps escalating week after week. Years ago, controversial moments would disappear after the final buzzer. Now they live forever online. Every replay gets slowed down. Every foul gets reposted from multiple angles. Every emotional reaction becomes a meme, a debate clip, or a viral headline. And because Caitlin Clark already has one of the largest fan bases in basketball, the internet reacts instantly whenever something controversial happens involving her. That creates a non-stop cycle. Fans see a physical play. They post clips online. Sports creators react to it. Debate shows discuss it. Other fans argue back. Former players join the conversation. Suddenly the entire sports world is debating one moment for 3 straight days. The WNBA has never experienced this level of digital attention before. And honestly, the league may still be adapting to what modern sports culture looks like in the social media era. Because now perception moves faster than facts. Narratives form within minutes. Public opinion shifts instantly. And once fans decide what they believe, it becomes almost impossible to change the conversation. That's why the emotional reactions around Caitlin Clark continue growing larger after every game. The internet amplifies everything. Every controversy becomes bigger online than it ever was on the court itself. But there's also another side to this. The same social media chaos creating controversy is also helping the league grow faster than ever. Millions of people who never watched WNBA basketball before are suddenly engaging with highlights, discussions, interviews, and game clips daily. So while the online wars may look messy, they are also proof that people deeply care about the product now. And in sports, attention is power. One thing that has changed dramatically this season is how veteran players inside the WNBA are being viewed by fans. Before Caitlin Clark entered the league, many longtime stars operated without constant national scrutiny. Now every interaction gets analyzed in real time. That pressure is creating extremely tense reactions online. Whenever a veteran player makes a physical play against Clark, social media immediately explodes with accusations of jealousy or resentment. Whether fair or unfair, that perception has become a major storyline surrounding the league this season. And that creates a difficult situation for veteran stars. Because on one hand, they want respect for everything they built before Caitlin Clark arrived. Many of these players spent years helping grow women's basketball without receiving mainstream recognition. But on the other hand, fans entering the sport through Caitlin Clark naturally center the conversation around her. That collision of perspectives is fueling a lot of the tension we're seeing now. Some fans believe veterans should fully embrace Clark as the face of the league's future. Others believe the non-stop focus on one rookie disrespects established stars who spent years carrying the league before the recent explosion in popularity. And honestly, both sides have valid emotions driving their reactions. That's why this conversation has become so complicated. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about respect, recognition, opportunity, and who gets credit for the WNBA's current rise in popularity. The league is experiencing a generational shift in real time, and everyone can feel it happening. No matter where someone stands in the debate surrounding Caitlin Clark, one thing has become impossible to deny. Women's basketball is entering a completely different era. The audience is bigger, the emotions are louder, the coverage is non-stop, and the stakes surrounding the WNBA have never felt higher. This moment feels larger than one season or one player because it represents a turning point for women's sports as a whole. Networks are investing more coverage. Sponsors are paying closer attention. Young athletes are watching all of this unfold and realizing women's basketball can now command mainstream national attention at an entirely different level. That's the opportunity sitting in front of the WNBA right now. But opportunities this massive also come with enormous pressure. The league has to balance competition with entertainment. It has to protect player individuality while maintaining respect across teams. And most importantly, it has to understand that millions of brand new fans are now emotionally invested in every major storyline. That changes everything. The next chapter of the WNBA could become one of the greatest growth stories in sports history if the league successfully channels this attention into long-term momentum. But if the controversy keeps overpowering the basketball itself, frustration could eventually replace excitement. And that's why every game, every interview, every debate, and every viral moment matters so much right now. Because the entire sports world isn't just watching Caitlin Clark anymore. They are watching the future of women's basketball unfold in real time.